Welcome to video number 3. I'm already starting to lose count, but I think that's more down to fibro brain. And on this video, I just wanted to talk about how fibromyalgia has affected things that you wouldn't maybe think of, whether you don't know what fibromyalgia is or whether you've just been diagnosed yourself. Things that you would just normally take for granted, I suppose. And one of the things that I learned was every single thing that we do requires some form of energy, and it's only because fibromyalgia has affected my energy levels that I have realized just what that means. You know, digesting food, it takes energy. Getting up out of bed takes energy. Taking a phone call, it takes energy. So things like that, they hit you quite hard at first because you just don't realize how much it can be affected, and what is affected. So I just want to go through, not through everything that will affect me, but I've written a list of about 10 different items. So I just want to talk about how those particular things have changed for me, and what I do to try and manage them. So I'm going to start with my appearance. So here I am on camera. Probably would have never have done this before, but before fibromyalgia really took hold, I was quite proud of my appearance. So I would spend time doing all my makeup, full face of makeup, washing my hair every day, conditioning it when it needed it, blow drying it, styling it, using different products in it, and that just all changed, even the things down to my clothes. So I used to wear things like jeans, tight fitted t-shirts, all sorts of things like that. Just a pair of socks, the bra that you wear. I'm not flat chested and I'm not enormous in that department, but I certainly felt like I needed to wear a bra before I realised that actually I could probably make things a bit easier for myself. So appearance wise, yes, I will still do my makeup when I can. There are days that I will probably be on camera without any makeup on, but I don't do anywhere near as much as I used to. I very rarely blow dry my hair. So the last time I tried to dry my hair properly, my hairdryer blew up. Sparks came out of it. Now, I've had hair dryers overheat in the past, but actual sparks came out. They landed on my legs. It burnt. And with fibro, that is horrible. So although I hadn't been blow drying my hair as often as I once would, I'm never blow drying my hair again. So that put an end to that, basically. But even just washing my hair, I still shower every day, but I don't wash my hair every day like I used to. So I just can't manage it. The pain, the fatigue, and the amount of energy that I'll use doing that might mean that I can't do something else later on in the day. So things like that had to change. The clothing that I was wearing, I do go days where I don't necessarily wear a bra, or I'll wear some soft fitted like boob tube type thing, but without any kind of wiring or the fasteners, because they can be tricky to hold with pain in my fingers and the tightness of the straps. I know they are adjustable, but there's still pressure there, and especially around the shoulders is one of the biggest tender points for fibro people. And it's actually one of the places that they'll touch to diagnose. So it's really difficult to wear those kind of things now. So I generally don't, or I avoid them. And very loose, baggy clothes. Always try and be in as comfortable as possible. Don't wear socks really anymore, apart from very fluffy and loose, baggy socks just to keep my feet warm. So that's really the appearance thing wrapped up. And it was quite, I suppose, upsetting at first, because I was quite proud of the way I used to look, and you know, you just feel like, I don't know, less attractive, say, for the other half, or you know, like just lazy, not making that effort. That is just those kind of things really bothered me. They still bother me every now and then, but luckily my partner loves me for all warts and all, so that's quite fine. Apart from the wart he's not seen yet, so you can cut that bit out. Okay, so second on my list, household chores. They are everybody's favourite thing to do, obviously. You know, we all want to make sure we're able to do the chores, wash the dishes, do the laundry, dust, polish, hoover, put things away, tidy up. And unfortunately now, I can't do those things. And that was quite sad. Not really. He now has to do those things, and it is difficult. You know, joking aside, whilst okay, it's great you don't have to do the dishes and things like that, it takes away a lot of you, a lot of purpose really, and that you have to rely on somebody to clean up after you, and you know, even just sharing that load of chores, it's more or less always down to Andy to do those now, and I feel quite guilty that he has to do that.
You don't need to feel guilty, I like doing it.
And as you can see, I'm quite lucky. He genuinely doesn't mind doing these things. It's a little bit more difficult living where we live, because we do live in a caravan, so there are chores that aren't necessarily something that you would think of, that he has to make sure he does even before he goes to work. So he has to make sure that we've got water in the water barrels, because I can't fill them anymore, and without that I wouldn't have access to water. So you know, just things like that took a lot of adapting to, and I am very, very, very stubborn. Very stubborn. So when I get told don't do the dishes while I'm at work, I might struggle to do those dishes, because I still feel that guilt, and I don't want him to come home from work and have to do the dishes. But it's very, very rare that happens. Again, it's just the energy you'll use doing it. The third one is something that most of us just take for granted, and we've all been doing it from such a very young age, and that's walking. I can walk. I'm not unable to walk, but for a long time after diagnosis, I was trying to just carry on as normal, and it wasn't working. Too much energy is being used, and reluctantly I made the decision to get a walking aid. I got myself a walking stick, not because I want anyone to feel sorry for me or to put on like any kind of show, but I chose to get a walking stick because I wanted something to help me, so I could maybe go out, family and things, and I can walk knowing that I've got something to lean on to rest or take away some of that energy, and that I am exhausting by walking normally, and sometimes the walking stick's just not quite enough. So recently we'd been out on a family day out, and I was quite upset that I couldn't walk around some gardens after we'd visited a National Trust property, and with the wheelchairs and mobility scooters not being utilised at the property at the moment, what with the COVID-19 situation, we had to cut the day short because I just couldn't do it. And Andy said, why don't you think about maybe getting a wheelchair? I didn't want one. I didn't want to kind of give in, another thing really, but it made sense. So we shopped around, and we found a little wheelchair that Andy can push me around in now, and we've used it a couple of times. I'm not going to lie, it's quite scary when you're in a wheelchair and you're relying on somebody else to push you around, especially when they let go of you down a ramp.
I'm a Noah.
And then just walk alongside you. But it does help. And if that means I can do something again later, then I will.
We got the wheelchair so that she doesn't have to walk, but also so that I can have fun racing around supermarkets, isn't it?
It's so much fun.
She doesn't like wheelies.
And also you have to learn a way to communicate, because he can't hear me when he's behind me. So I can just be talking at a normal level, and just not getting any response. Or I might say, we need to get this from this particular aisle in a shop, and we've gone past, and I think, oh, let's just not bother then. I have to really shout, and then that just makes you, if it's not already obvious that there's something wrong, that you're in a wheelchair, I'm shouting around a supermarket, and yeah, it's a little bit embarrassing, but it does work.
Andy, I want beans!
So walking, we do take it for granted, but I don't use the stick as a woe is me kind of thing, or a weapon. Yeah, weapon, that was it. Yeah, it's more for making again things easier for me. So number 4, reading and writing. Again, things we all learn at school, and we all are able to do these things at some level, generally, or even with help. But with reading and writing, and fibromyalgia, we get this thing called fibro fog, and it really affects us cognitively. And it's not just a case of not being able to read, because I can still read. It's not that I can't write, because I can still write. It's about things like being unable to process information, reading the same line over and over again, but it's just not retaining. I can finish a chapter of a book and not remember any of it. I write. I like to write. I'm an author, and it's incredibly frustrating and upsetting when all I want to do is sit and type and write my novel that I'm trying to work on, and there's no words that are coming, or that it's maybe one word I'll get stuck on, or even pain. The pain may be so bad I can't think straight. I can get pain in my hands, so I can't even type, I can't even hold a pen. My handwriting has changed dramatically again. It was something that was really always quite neat, precise and tidy, and now I could probably take some of my GPs on with the type of writing that I have. It's just bordering on illegible most times. So I've had to adapt. I've changed things. I've got, like I say, it's all about making things easier. So I'll still write. I've still got pens and things like that, but I prefer a wider grip on a pen, because then I can hold it easier than using the fingertips, or holding the pencil maybe a couple of centimeters up from the nib rather than down the bottom, because again, you've just got more movement and more flexibility, and you're not putting too much pressure on your fingertips. Reading, when I've got fibro fog, see, I can't even say it. Fibro fog is just pointless, because it won't stay in. I've done it so many times where I've tried to read, and I'm doing this little recommended reading project that I started during lockdown to try and encourage me to read more, and I came across a stumbling block when I'm halfway through a book that was recommended to me, and it's great, I love it, but I can't process it. I can't retain the information. I cannot remember what happened a few pages before, so the story is not flowing, it's just broken. I tried another book, again, I'm halfway through it, it's fantastically written. It's by somebody I know, Daisy Tate, and it's brilliant. It's so emotive, but it's the fibro fog I get stuck with. So number 5 is talking and communication. So phone calls, writing again, emails, social media, all those kind of things. Again, fibro fog can affect those, and get stuck on my words. I might be able to talk to somebody on the telephone but not really understand what's happening. Recently had an assessment on a telephone, and I had to have Andy with me because there was just so much of that information I just couldn't process. So it's about speaking to people and being honest and saying, you know, I need help during this call, and I've got somebody with me. Is that okay? Or can I give you the authority to speak to somebody else? I've done that on a few things. So again, it's about adapting and making things as easy as possible. Okay, so I'm a little bit conscious that I can waffle on a bit, so I'm going to do this in 2 parts. So I'll end this here. Still ask you to like and subscribe, click the notification bell, but there will be a part 2 coming very soon. Gentle hugs and peace out.
Yeah, you're recording.
Hello.
Hello.
I was gonna go, now this is a story all about how my life got flipped and upside down. Does it look alright?
Yeah?
Do I look alright?
Yeah, beautiful.
Thanks. You're so kind. Once upon a time. Okay. Where are you going?
I'm just wandering around.
Okay. I'm a bit scared again.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're fine.
Okay.